Hi class, I wanted to add one additional instruction or tutorial, I guess, to this week's content. And that is about citation managers. So these are nice tools to help you manage your citations in a very easy manner. And I'll just show you an example here. So let's say I'm doing a literature review about educational technology or some such topic, and I'm writing about it, and I say something like, educational technology has grown as a field in the past 20 years. And let's say I know about a source that I can cite for my in-text citation right here that will back up my statement about how educational technology has grown as a field. What I've done is I've installed a special citation manager on my computer, and this one's a free one called Zotero. And I can choose Add Citation. And on Windows it might look a little different in Word, but this is just in Word on the Mac. So I choose Add Citation. And it's being a little slow. There we go. So I can find that citation very simply. It brings up a new window, and through this window I can do a search for my source that I want to find. In this case it's a work by myself, and hit enter. And what it does is it automatically adds in the citation in the proper APA format that I've chosen for this document and puts it in there. Now let's say I want to add more than one source. There could be more than one source that I want to add into one citation or one parentheses here. So I can hit Edit Citation. I can actually add another one. Maybe there's something else that I've discussed, although you don't want to cite yourself too much, right? But anyway, I can submit. And now I've got two sources of information, and it looks like it's got it set wrong to differentiate the authors. But anyway, it adds them in a format that works for me and makes it work. So I can just add as many as I want to and continue on my writing. And as I continue on my writing, I can continue to add these citations. So again, here I need to add a citation, and I could add that and look for whatever I want to add here. And so when I'm done with my paper, well, let me add one more just as an example. Let's see. You can add different types of citations as well, like if you want to actually mention the authors, then you can do that as well. In this case, I might want to change it to only to suppress the author because I've already mentioned the author in the text here, so then I would just add that there. So I've got this nice citation manager. That's not all that it does, though. It will add these citations in quite nicely, but only if I have done the work of adding those citations or those sources into Zotero already. I had to have those already in Zotero in order for this to work. But what's really cool about this is I can go now, let's say I'm done and I want to add my references list. I'll put that centered in the middle here. And then move it down here, and of course put references start on the left justification. So then I choose here to go to Zotero, and I choose Add Bibliography. And take a look at that. Voila! I've got this whole list of all of the sources that I have added in here. And even if I want to go back and add more sources now into my review, it will automatically add those into this references list for me. Now this isn't perfect. For instance, problem-based learning in online environments shouldn't all be capitalized, so I need to change that later, change it to, or I can change it within Zotero to make sure it's not all capitalized. You have to check through and make sure everything's right, but it gives you a pretty good reference list right automatically, which is really nice to save you a lot of time if you do a lot of academic writing. So I just want to show you now the back end of this and how I kind of came to this point. Zotero is a program. It's at zotero.org, and it works as a Firefox, this Firefox web browser add-on. And it's a Z right here. It can show me the Zotero interface down here. And I have all these little folders that I've set up within Zotero. So let's say I'm going to a library database here. And here I've got some results. And let's say I really like this one, this source right here, Barriers to Use of Educational Technology in the Learning Process of Primary School Students. So I look through that, I check out the abstract, and I read the whole article and discover that, hey, this is something that I really want to have in my Zotero library. So if I want to do that, I can do that very easily. Right here by the Z for Zotero, if this is installed, then you can click on this little paper right there and it will automatically save it to your Zotero library. So I'll click on that. It says saving to my library. And it basically takes all the information that you need for a citation, including volume, issue, pages, and puts that in your Zotero library. Alright, and if you remember, this is EDER761CitationMgrs. This is Barriers to Use of Educational Technology. So now I can go ahead and I can add this in. So I can just choose here, citation, oops. So I can add that in, and look, it automatically adds the correct citation as well as the reference list. Now again, I have to check that because again, article titles should not be capitalized every word. It just should have the first word capitalized or any word after a colon. But there's a nice reference that it added in there, and also in here it adds the citation. So it's really nice the way that this works. And that's how you add it into Zotero as well. So it can really save you a lot of time and trouble. This will also work with something like Google Scholar. I'll look up makerspace effects, which is something I've looked up recently. And here you have a folder that you can choose, and then whichever one of these items that you want to include, you can click on and choose OK, and that will add it to your Zotero library just like this one was added before. So you can really use a variety of different databases and a variety of different places. Now in lieu of using something like Zotero, if you don't want to get that elaborate, if you don't do a lot of research, you can also find a reference for an article like this EDER761CitationMgrs one, usually within any database that you look at. So let me close Zotero. If you choose here Cite, for instance, it will come up with different ways to cite this, and one of those is APA. And so oftentimes you can just copy and paste this one here into your document as well, and that will do it one by one. It won't do it automatically, but that will save you a lot of time too in creating that. And maybe some of you are wondering, well, why didn't I teach you about this before? Well, I wanted you to understand the citation process and being able to build your own first, and then knowing how to do it quickly. Because if you don't know first the right format, then you won't be able to fix these because they're not all perfect. Even the ones that you look up here under Cite in the Citation Manager are not always perfect. And so it's good to know first the rules. And so example here is that this is all capitalized again. These words shouldn't be capitalized. So, but overall it's a very good format for a reference. So that's just another tip, and I hope that that saves you some time and work as you prepare to complete your literature review. All right, have a good week and good luck.